Virgo. Warning: this hidden danger could change everything for you this weekend. You're looking for threats in the wrong place. You're looking outward, checking people, analyzing situations, protecting yourself from external dangers. But the danger? The real danger? It's not coming from outside. It's coming from within, from you. And you don't see it. You don't realize it. Because it's disguised. Disguised as prudence, as care, as responsibility. And it looks like virtue. It looks like wisdom. It looks like protection. But it's a trap. A trap you're building yourself. And this weekend, this specific weekend, that trap could close. It could make you lose something important, something that won't come back, something that has a deadline. And the deadline? It's now. It's these next few days. So pay attention, very close attention, because what I'm going to show you, it will disturb you. It will challenge you. It will force you to see the truth you preferred to ignore. But also, it can also save you. Save you from yourself. Save an opportunity. Save a moment. If you listen, if you recognize it, if you act, before it's too late, before the weekend passes, before the moment is gone. So let's go. We're going to reveal the hidden danger. We're going to expose the trap. We're going to give you a chance to choose differently, this time. The danger has a name: analysis paralysis. Let's get straight to the point. The danger that threatens you? It has a name: analysis paralysis. And you know it well. You know it intimately, because you live with it. You live in it. It's your way of functioning, to analyze, to process, to consider, to weigh, to examine. And normally this serves you. It protects you from mistakes. It prepares you for success. It gives you clarity. But there are moments, specific moments, where analysis becomes the enemy, where overthinking kills spontaneity, kills opportunity, kills the moment. And this weekend, it's one of those moments. Because something is coming, something that requires presence, no planning, requires action, no preparation. Yes, it requires, not let me think. And if you respond with analysis, with a need for more information, with I need time, you lose. You simply lose. And what's coming? What is this something? It could be an invitation, an unexpected invitation, to do something, to go somewhere, to be with someone. And your first reaction? It will be hesitation. It will be listing reasons not to go. It will be thinking about everything that could go wrong, about everything you're not prepared for, about everything you need to do beforehand. And while you think, while you analyze, while you weigh things up, the moment passes. The invitation expires. The opportunity closes. Or it could be a person expressing interest, making a move, showing openness. And you'll want to be sure. You'll want to analyze intentions. You'll want to guarantee it's real, that it's safe, that it's worth the risk. And while you analyze, the person walks away, assumes you're not interested, assumes they don't want to, and they leave. And you're left with a complete analysis, but alone. Or it could be an idea that comes, inspiration, a creative impulse, a desire to do something different, something unplanned, something that breaks the routine. And you'll want to research first. You'll want to plan better. You'll want to wait for the perfect moment, the most prepared moment. And while you wait, the idea cools down, inspiration dies, the impulse fades, and you're left with the intention to do it, but never doing it. And the pattern repeats itself, again and again and again. Analysis before action, preparation before participation, certainty before movement. And it seems sensible, it seems mature, it seems responsible, but it kills. It kills life. It kills spontaneity. It kills magic. It kills moments that only happen when you act before you're fully ready. Before you have all the answers. before you have total control. Why this weekend is critical. And you might be thinking, okay, but why this weekend specifically? And the answer is because the energy is different, because something is moving, because there's an opening that wasn't there before and won't be there later. It's a window, a temporary window. And windows, they close. They always close. And you have a history of missing windows, not because you don't see them, but because you wait. You wait for them to become clearer, more secure, more perfect. And while you wait, they close, and you're left watching the opportunity that could have been, if you had acted, when it was open. And this weekend, there are multiple possibilities. The possibility of connection with someone who matters, or someone new who could matter. The possibility of experience, of doing something, of going somewhere, of living differently. The possibility of expression, of saying something, of showing something, of revealing something. And here's the hard truth. You're getting very good at surviving. Living is very bad. To survive is to control. It's to protect. It's to be guaranteed. It's to minimize risk. And you do that perfectly. But to live? To live is to risk. It's to let go. It's not knowing. It's acting without all the answers. And you're forgetting how. You're losing muscle. You're becoming so good at analysis that you're becoming bad at experience. And this weekend, it's a test. A test of whether you can still do it. Can you act without being sure? Can you say yes without having planned? Can you participate without having control? And if you can't, if you let analysis win again, the pattern solidifies. And next time, it will be even harder. And the next, impossible. And life, it becomes routine, safe, controlled, dead. How to recognize when danger is activated. And how do you know? How do you know when you're falling into the trap? First sign, you feel the impulse to do, to go, to say. And immediately it begins. You start listing reasons not to, listing risks, listing what could go wrong. And if you notice this, if you notice your mind doing this, pay attention, because impulse is communication from the part of you that wants to live. And the list? It's resistance from the part that wants to control. And the battle between the two? It happens in seconds. And who wins? Usually analysis, because it's louder, more convincing, more rational. But rational doesn't mean right. Sometimes it means cowardly. Second sign, you start postponing. I'll think about it. I'll see. Maybe later. And all these phrases, they're code. Code for no. Because if you really wanted to, you'd say yes. Now. Or at least, yes, but I need to check something. But I'll think about it? It's a disguised no. It's a way of not committing, of maintaining control, of not taking risks. And the person listening? They know. They know it's a no. Even if you don't say it directly. And they walk away. And the opportunity? It closes. Not because you said no, but because you didn't say yes quickly enough. Third sign, you seek more information, more context, more certainty. Who else is going? How long will it be? What exactly will happen? And the questions seem reasonable. They seem prudent. But are they? Or are they attempts to create an illusion of control? To reduce the unknown to the known? To transform the spontaneous into the planned? And there are times for questions. Times when information is necessary. But there are times when questions kill. When there is a need to know everything before participating, it kills participation. Because real life, it doesn't come with all the answers. It comes with an invitation. And an invitation? It requires faith. Faith to say yes before knowing everything. Fourth sign, you feel anxiety. Anxiety about not being prepared. about not being in control, about not knowing what to expect. And anxiety? It seems like a sign of danger. It seems like a warning that you shouldn't do it. But it's not. It's a sign of leaving your comfort zone, of doing something different, something real, something alive. And anxiety? It's the price of living, of growing, of experiencing. And you can let anxiety stop you. You can interpret it as a warning, or you can recognize it. Recognize it as an indicator that you're on the right path, a path of less analysis, more life. What to do when the moment arrives? And when does it arrive? When the invitation comes? When the opportunity presents itself? When the impulse arises? What do? First, you breathe, because there will be urgency. Urgency to analyze, to think, to control. And urgency is strong. It's familiar. It's a lifelong pattern. But you breathe, and you recognize. You recognize that urgency is not wisdom. It's fear. Fear disguised as prudence. And recognition? It gives space. Space between impulse and response. Space where you can choose. Choose differently this time. Second, you ask. A simple question. Do I want this? Not, is it safe? Not, am I sure? Not, is everything under control? But simply, do I want it? And the answer? The answer comes quickly, from the body, from the feeling, from the part of you that knows, that always knew. And if the answer is yes, even if small, even if hesitant, you go. You go to the third step. Third, you say yes. Before thinking more, before analyzing more, before creating a list of reasons not to, you say yes. And you don't need to be enthusiastic. You don't need to be confident. It can be a hesitant yes, a scared yes, an uncertain yes. But it's yes. And yes? Yes opens. It opens the door. It opens possibilities. It opens life. And after saying it, after committing, then you can think. You can plan the details. You can prepare what you need. But order? Order matters. Yes first, thinking later. Not the opposite. Because if you think first, think until you say no. Always. Fourth, you let go. You let go of the need to control everything, to know everything, to prepare everything. You allow it. You allow it to be spontaneous, to be unknown, to be alive. And this goes against everything in you, everything that taught you to be careful, prepared, controlled. But you let go anyway, because you realize that total control, it's an illusion. It always has been. You never had it. You only pretended. And pretense? It cost a lot. It cost spontaneity. It cost joy. It cost moments. So you let go. Consciously. Purposefully. And you see what happens when you allow life, instead of controlling life. Fifth, you stay. Stay in the moment, when it arrives. Not in your head, not analyzing, not planning the next step, but there, present, experiencing, feeling, living. And that's difficult, because the mind will want to escape. It will want to protect itself through distance, through analysis, through observation instead of participation. But you bring it back, gently, repeatedly, back to the moment, back to the present, back to life happening, now. What is at stake? And let's be clear about what you stand to lose. If you let danger win, if you let analysis paralyze you, if you let the weekend pass without action. First, you lose the moment, a specific moment that doesn't come back. Why moments? They are unique. They are now. And when they pass forever. And you can have other moments, but you're not in this one. This one? It's only once. And if you don't participate, if you don't live it, it will pass. And you'll be left behind. with regret, with what-ifs, with knowing you could have, but you didn't. Second, you lost someone. Maybe. Someone who is trying to get closer, who is trying to connect, who is offering. And what if you don't respond? What if you hesitate too much? What if you need too much time? The person gets tired. The person assumes. The person withdraws. And not out of malice, but out of protection. Protection from continuing to offer to someone who doesn't seem to want it. And you might argue that the right person would wait, that the right person would understand. But maybe? Maybe the right person also needs confirmation, a sign, a yes. And what if you don't give it? What if you only say, "I'll think about it"? The person leaves, and you're left behind, with a complete analysis of why it would have worked, but alone. Third, you lose confidence. Confidence in yourself. Because every time an impulse comes and you don't act, every time an opportunity appears and you hesitate too much, every time life invites you and you say, "Not now," you learn. You learn that you can't trust yourself, that you can't trust your impulses, that you can't trust your ability to navigate the unknown. And confidence? It erodes. Slowly, consistently, until you have none left. Until you need total control to do anything. And that's prison. A prison of your own making. Fourth, you lose practice. The practice of living. Because living is a skill. It's a muscle. That needs to be used. And if you always choose analysis over experience, always choose control over spontaneity, always choose preparation over participation, the muscle atrophies. And the next time you want to use it, you can't. It doesn't work anymore. And you become someone who thinks about life, instead of someone who lives. And thought? It doesn't replace experience. It never has. It never will. The possible transformation. But there's another side. A side if you choose differently. If you acknowledge the danger. If you act despite fear. If you say yes when you lie and say no. What can happen? First, you live. You truly live. You don't observe. You don't analyze. You don't plan. But you experience. You feel. You participate. And it can be good. It can be bad. It can be mixed. But it's real. It's yours. It's life happening. And when are you in it? When are you truly present? There's magic. Magic that analysis never captures, that control never allows, that preparation never creates. It just happens. When you're there, alive. Second, you connect. You truly connect. With people, with the moment, with yourself. Because real connection, it requires presence. It requires vulnerability. It requires not knowing. And when you allow that, when you don't hide behind analysis, when you don't protect yourself with control, the connection happens. Deep, real, transformative. And this connection, it can change everything. It can open. It can reveal. It can create. Something you would never imagine, never plan, never control to exist. But it exists because you allowed it. Third, you learn. You learn that you can trust, you can navigate, you can live without having everything controlled. And learning, it changes you. It changes how you see capabilities. It changes how you see the world. It changes how you see possibilities. Because you realize you are stronger than you thought, more capable, more sufficient, exactly as you are, without needing perfect preparation, without needing total control. You can do it. You always could. You just forgot. Fourth, you break the pattern. The pattern of your entire life, of analysis killing action, of thinking killing doing, of preparing killing participating. And breaking the pattern, it opens up. It opens up the possibility of a new way, a way of being, of living, of existing, where you still have wisdom, you still have care, but you also have courage, you also have spontaneity, you also have life. And from this opening, from this new way, a different future comes. A future where you not only survive, but live fully, courageously, truly. So Virgo, this weekend, it's not just any weekend. It's a test. It's an opportunity. It's a choice. A choice between standard and possibility, between security and life, between analysis and experience. And danger? The danger is real. But it doesn't come from outside. It comes from you, from your own tendency to become paralyzed, to overanalyze, to control until you kill. And a warning? The warning is, this can cost you. It can cost you time, people, opportunity. But also, it can also save you. If you listen, if you recognize it, if you act. When the impulse comes, when the invitation arrives, let me be more specific, because you need to know. You need to recognize when the moment arrives. First possible scenario, someone invites you out. Unplanned, not weeks in advance, but tonight, this afternoon, in an hour. And everything in you will want to say, I can't, I already have plans. Even if those plans are to stay home, doing what you always do. And here's the test. Your plans to stay home doing your routine. Second scenario, you feel the urge. The urge to do something spontaneous, to call someone you haven't spoken to in a while, to go to a place you've always wanted to but never went, to try something new. And the urge comes strong, clear. But then what? Then the mind kicks in. But it's too late. But I didn't plan. But what if it goes wrong? And the urge? It dies under the weight of objections. And you stay, wanting, but not doing. And this weekend? When are you going to live? And it will. It will come multiple times. You act on the first urge, not on the 10th after analyzing. Third scenario, an opportunity presents itself in a way you didn't expect. You didn't plan for it. You weren't prepared for it. And everything is wrong. It's not the right time. It's not the right way. It's not how you imagined it. But it is. It's an opportunity. Real. Now. And you can wait for the perfect version. A version that fits your plans. That respects your preparation. That follows your script. Or you can take this one. It's imperfect. This one wasn't planned. The truth about control. And we need to talk about illusion. The illusion that keeps you trapped. The illusion that you're protecting yourself. That analysis keeps you safe. That control prevents pain. But it doesn't. It only postpones it. And sometimes, it creates worse pain. The pain of regret. The pain of what if. The pain of a life not lived. Because you can control everything. Plan everything. Prepare everything. And yet, things go wrong. People hurt you. Situations crumble. Control was never guaranteed. It never guaranteed happiness. It never guaranteed security. It only guaranteed one thing, that you didn't live fully, because you were busy controlling. And here's the painful truth. Every minute you spend analyzing whether you should do something, that's a minute you're not doing. Every hour you spend preparing to live, that's an hour you're not living. And life? It doesn't happen in preparation. It happens in action. At any moment. Now. And the more you prepare, the less you live. And one day you wake up and you realize you've spent your whole life preparing, but you've never truly lived. And preparation? It can't be relived. It can't be converted into memories. It can't be transformed into experience. It's just wasted time. Time that could have been life, but it was analysis. The final invitation. So here's the invitation, not from me, but from life, through me, to you, specifically, est. And the weekend? When someone asks for your presence? When someone asks for your yes? When the moment calls for your participation? You give. Without excessive analysis, without perfect preparation, without total control. You simply give. And you see. You see what happens. You see how you feel. You see who you are when you're not protecting yourself, when you're not controlling, when you're just being. And if it goes wrong, if it's uncomfortable, if it's not perfect, you survive, as you always have, but with a difference, with experience, with a life lived, not just thought about. What if it works out? What if it's magical? What if it's exactly what you needed without knowing it? You win. You gain memory. You gain connection. You gain proof. Proof that you can do it, that you are capable of living without a safety net, of acting without all the answers, of being without all the guarantees. And the proof? Proof changes everything. Because next time is easier. And the next, even easier. Until one day you realize you no longer need paralyzing analysis. You no longer need total control. You no longer need to protect yourself so much. Because you learned. You learned that you can trust yourself, life, the process. This weekend is no accident. It's not random. It's a moment of choice. Between continuing the pattern or starting anew. Between protecting or living. Between analyzing or experimenting. And the choice? It's yours. It always has been. It always will be. But choice? It has a deadline. And the deadline? It's now. It's these next few days. After that, it's too late. Not forever, but for this moment. And this moment? This is unique. This is yours. This is now. So don't miss it. Don't let paralysis win. Don't let analysis kill you. Don't let fear disguised as prudence steal you. You live. You act. You say yes. And you transform. You transform the weekend. You transform the pattern. You transform life. Starting now.